Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Lower Leagues Footy Podcast. I'm Alan, as usual. I'm joined by Mike and Dan. Dan, we'll start with you. Where are you?
I am in Rhodes, mate. I'm on a family holiday, but fortunate for me, it's 10 o'clock here, whereas what 8 o'clock for you back home. So
Eight
that
o'clock
means
for us, yeah.
we young kids, they're laying in bed watching tablets. I said to the missus, just gonna nip out quick. So yeah, in Rhodes, trying to enjoy myself, mate. It's a bit too hot for me, but I've found at the local supermarket stores Magners, so I'm in all inclusive, but I'm buying my own beer.
Very nice,
So,
very nice.
yeah.
I've seen some of the pictures you put on Instagram. It looks quite nice. It looks really nice out there.
Oh, it's a beautiful resort. It's lovely. The wife was picked very well, but yeah, it's just I'm not one for heat, mate. I'm just
No.
yeah, my chest is absolute red raw. So yeah, every day around lunchtime, I'm like, don't worry, babe, I'll take the kids to the room for a couple of hours. Don't worry about that. Just hide away.
Oh well. I love the heat. I love the sun and the heat. So I came to sunny Pool in Dorset.
You
That's
endorse
nice.
it?
I'm in Dorset now. Yeah, this is the caravan that my mum and my well, I say caravan. It's more of a static home. It's more of like an apart 3 bedroom apartment that my mum and my stepdad own on a haven site in Poole called
Oh,
Rockley Park.
nice.
Um, yeah,
So,
it's really nice here.
so Alan, you would endorse Dorset, yeah?
Of course, yeah.
Lovely little play
Such
on
a
words.
such a dad
It's a lovely
joke.
part of the world. It is a lovely part of the world. Lovely part of the country when it's not raining. It rained today a little bit, but me and my I'm here with my kids, so we went to Monkey World today down in Wareham, just outside Wareham. Nice
Yeah,
little place, and yeah, we had loads
nice.
of fun. I see you're still in the manor back home, Mike.
Easton
Still on
is
the
Stupid.
Stutely Riviera. Uh, yeah, still in the ship. Well, I'm going away. So I missed the first game of the season because I go to Croatia then Montenegro. So
Ooh,
spend a couple of days,
Right.
like, go to Dubrovnik and then I drive up from Dubrovnik to Montenegro. And then the next month, there's loads of us going away. I'm only going to miss 2 games all season. And the next one's in the September. We're going to Belgrade. Me and loads of lads I used to play football with for Hanslow because a lot of us turn 50 this year. And we have just secured tickets for Partizan Belgrade versus Red Star Belgrade, which is that weekend
oh,
we are there. Um,
oh.
Partizan play in black and white, like the Supernauts County. So we are all massive Partizan fans. We've got an apartment and it's about a mile from the ground. It is going to, apparently, it is absolutely brutal.
Really?
Yeah, apparently it's absolutely brutal. I think it's like a war zone in the city. Uh,
Hmm.
so yeah,
That'd be fun.
yeah, it will. It will be fun. So I've got that to look forward to.
Before we go on to what we're going to be discussing tonight, have you been to any other sort of derby games where they've been quite feisty or anything like that? So
Yeah,
hopefully when we talk to you about it, you can sort of compare it to
yeah,
other derby games as well.
I've been to Sparta versus Slavia, Prague. That that was a bit tasty. Uh, Barca, Atletico Madrid, but in Barcelona, the away fans are so minimal and they're so high up. It doesn't really. But
Mm.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
for my 30th, I went to Lazio versus Inter Milan. That was tasty in
Really?
Rome. A night game in Rome. Yeah.
I've said I would not enjoy any of that. Like for
Oh, I
me,
love.
Really?
that's not an idea of fun.
Oh
No,
no,
not
no, no,
go.
it's not. But I love going to foreign games and I love the atmosphere. But yeah, I'm not. Yeah, anything like that. I saw a bloke get stabbed at Lazio
That's not.
Milan.
Oh
Drove
yeah.
past them on a motorbike and they shank them up the arse, don't they? That's the attack. That's the
Oh
Roman.
God!
Yeah,
Bloody hell!
they stab them in the arse. Um, but yeah, so
Anyway,
I'm looking forward to that. Which will be when I come back, Dan, and I'm not showering for a couple of weeks.
yeah, I know why.
Well, you'll know why.
Jesus Christ.
But I probably won't be selected after the debacle I produced on
Oh,
Saturday.
here we go.
Oh yeah, we heard about your yeah. You told us
Oh,
yeah.
mate, it was awful. First half, honestly, I felt like crying.
Did you
That
play
pitch is,
90?
yeah, the pitch at pitch at Higham is massive. Um, they had a whippersnapper who just wanted to run the channels all day long as a lone striker, and it was just You know,
Yeah.
but everything was going wrong. Just couldn't like. I spanked the ball off the pitch about 3 times. Uh,
Oh,
just
mate.
always things go wrong. Second half was
Oi,
better.
I was about to say, clean sheet second half. That's all right.
Yeah, I actually I had to apologize to Jamo and Ollie, and I was like, look, I'm really really sorry. And they were like, no, it's one of those. Don't worry about it. I was like, look, I need to get up. I'm a bit rusty because I've not played in. Obviously, it's the first time
Yeah.
back. So I used that excuse. But it was funny when I was leaving the pub afterwards. Jack Harris came on as sub, and they were like, "So see you next week, King." And Jack shouted at me, "We're not going to sign that donkey, are we?"
Come on. Right.
God.
Welcome to Shanger.
Yeah, I know. I loved it. Though. I laughed. I laughed. But yeah, but it was good because me and him got into the box for set pieces, so it was just quite nice.
Oh, decent.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So yeah,
Decent.
but I was awful. Honestly, it was so bad. But I suppose you got to get him out of the way pre-season, haven't you?
Of course,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, and it's good to see that you've got your own sort of standards really of how you want to play and the level that you want to even at this level, the level that you guys want to sort of set yourself at, and that you recognise that you when you don't play at that level really. So it's good
No, I think
that you
for me, it's the age thing. If you have a
yeah,
couple of bad games, everyone's like, he's too old, he's too old. Yeah, anyone can have a couple of bad games, can't they? But
of course,
Mm.
yeah.
anyway, we won't talk about Shanger
Anyway,
anymore.
no, so we're doing this episode tonight because we're a non-league podcast and we cover non-league football and a wide variety of the non-league scene. So we discussed that what we wanted to do. We wanted to follow a non-league team each, loosely follow and see how they get on throughout the season. And every so often we'll stop by and we'll have a little chat about how our teams that we're following are going on.
Mm.
So we've had a little think, haven't we? And see who we want to follow. So Dan, we'll start with you. Who's your team?
So for me, when we started talking about this, what, a couple of months ago, Alan,
Hmm.
I was adamant it's going to be Newport. So I always look out for Newport Pagnell's results. Step 5 is going to be Newport. It's going to be Newport. Then over the last month, I've started the team I'm now picked. They've literally done a documentary series on their season for the last 2 years. Last year's was a little bit ropey. I'm sorry, the season before last was a bit ropey film. Now this one, they've obviously really upped their game. They're sponsored by a production company, and I've really enjoyed the documentary on this team. So they're a new team. They've only been, I think, playing as a team for about 3 or 4 years. They play at step 5. They've just been promoted to the South Mids Prem. So I am going to support this season AFC Welling.
Very nice. Very
I
nice.
I love so they're a money team by the sounds of it. Watching the documentary, the owner was playing as well, but I've noticed the last season he didn't really play. They've got a manager called Brett. He was the guy who went viral. The video of swearing at all the subs for being late to
Yeah.
kickoffs.
Yeah.
He seems a bit of a character, and they've posted some really good. To be honest with you, I'm supporting them because I do a lot of it at work. Like their social media is really good, and I'm like, actually, it makes it really cool to follow them. And it looks like they're a team who almost recruit to win the league each year. So it'll be interesting to see how they do in the South Mids. They've started okay. I think they've lost their first game but won the next two. So yeah, I am going to support AFC Welling.
No, brilliant. I think this is really good actually because I want to get their manager Brett on here so we can have a chat with him about the club's journey and his journey as well. So when this episode goes out, I'm going to tag him and the club and everything. So make sure that they get us a follow and we can start
Yeah,
some conversations to get him on because I
yeah.
think he's like you say I think he's an interesting character.
He's
He's
old
obviously
school by the
coached up
looks
a
of
bit
it.
higher up as well. Yeah, oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. So he's coached
But I
higher
think
up
it
and he's
was.
bringing those standards down to
Mm,
these to
is
these
it
levels.
is it Stockfold? I think he was at before.
He was at
What was like what
Stockfold, and I want to say Hitchin as well.
Kitchen, yes. Again, saw that in the documentary. Do you know what is what we find so interesting at that level? And again, being their documentary, they don't say what people are on, but you can see almost they bring players in and they immediately start the next game, even if they haven't trained. So it's almost the I don't know if this is a word for Kingy. I think I'm saying the right word. It's almost the hypocrisy that it's just, if this is about results, it's not about keeping people happy. It is literally we're here to win games. If I can find a better player, no matter if you're a superstar, you're out and the new player's in. And he seemed a bit fucking. And what I like as well is so many times he's like, I don't want you to play fucking football. Fucking get it long. get it long and fucking play it up there. And I'm like, I love that. That's old school. That is as old school as it comes. So yeah, I am going to be diehard this season. I'll buy the shirt.
Oh, really?
You could buy it. It's about 35 quid, I think. I'll buy one at some point.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. So AFC Wellington for Dan McLaren. I think that's a great team to follow, to be fair. I've followed them as they've come up from, I think they stopped when they, I think when they remember when Hashtag United were doing like YouTube stuff before
Yes.
they became a team in the league. Is that what AFC Wellington were doing before?
I think, oh,
And then they joined the Spartan League, did too.
yeah, so we should have done my research. So when I was watching the season there in the Spartan League, Spartan Div 2, they were like, at that point, I want to say they said they'd only been around for like a year or two. But it's interesting. One of the first episodes was when their first season in Step 7. Bear in mind, some teams in Step 7 don't even get paid, or most don't get paid.
Yeah.
And they were talking about then in the documentary, you're all picking up your salary and blah, blah, blah. So they're obviously getting paid decent money then. And again, it's watching. What I really like is, and although some people take the piss out of it for saying it's too serious, but even then, like they're showing the manager trying to do deals over the phone of like, I'm trying to get this player in, and I'm like, I love any team who goes to town on social media, that sort of stuff. I think that's wicked.
Yeah.
Because like this is why we do this podcast, isn't it? We want an insight into because those teams are normally one bloke who's done well in life, and he's like, well, I want to throw a bit of money into my. And I know now we've just announced this week you can buy shares in AFC Welling now. They're doing this. Like,
Yes, I did hear that. Yeah.
Buy into it. So yeah, I think you can do a monthly subscription into it. Whether I'll see if I take £1 a month, and yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah,
Oh, brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Well, yeah, we'll all keep an eye out on their season. I think they're going to do quite well, to be fair. Mike, let's hear yours then. Who have you gone for?
Well, just to let you know, this is very much in my wheelhouse, what the pricks who do corporate meetings say. But I've always been a massive, massive non-league fan. From the age of like 2 to the age of 15, I just went to a non-league game virtually every Saturday. And if it wasn't non-league, it'd be like Luton or Coventry or something like that. So I love my non-league football. Prefer to watch non-league football over league football, still to this day. There's one club, this is not going to be my first club, but there's one club I'm going to be very, very interested in. Long established, quite a big club in their league they play in, and an absolutely prolific goal machine up front. So Ginzanger Athletic are going to be one of my teams for this season, because after Saturday, that's probably the only thing I will be doing. is watching Dan from the sideline.
Mate, I've still got to work my way back in at some point.
Please tell Ollie not to chop me.
You'll be all right. You'll be fine.
Then the team. So I've got 2 teams, but the team I'm going to go for number 1. Can I name a second team as well? Is that all right?
Can. Yeah.
So number 1 throws in a King McLaren derby, a bit like E&H versus Woburn Sands Wanderers back in the day. I've already got a bit of form. I went to watch them about 5 or 6 games last year. I've already been this season to watch them win on Tuesday night. I like to pick teams from very affluent, rich areas, as you'd imagine. I like it because it's a bit like Stookley. When you drive through into the ground, there's a lot of chimneys billowing out smoke, and that smoke is produced by the burning of £50 notes. And it is Tring Athletic.
Oh, so what level are they at?
Yeah.
Where are they?
They're in the Prem of the South Mids.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going to have a derby day.
We're going to have a derby.
We're going to have please
night game.
Midweek.
It's got to be a night game. If it's a night game, I go full Trinket. You go full AFC Wellington. And we'll be the mascots.
Yes. Yeah. We'll
be the mascots.
Alan, tag them in this. Let's make that happen. Can me and Kingy walk out holding hands with a player?
That would if they did that, mate. This podcast would blow up.
Just me and Kingy. Have you seen who was it? Under the Kosh podcast did it with Dawkins, didn't they?
Yeah.
John Parkin, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got
To walk out.
me and Kingy walking out holding hands. That'd be fucking brilliant. That would be brilliant. Oh,
So yeah, so I went down quite a few games last season, and it was really nice because it's a really old wooden grandstand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because originally Tring Athletic, and it was originally a Tring Town, and Tring Town were quite a senior team, but then I think Tring Athletic then took over Tring Town's old ground. If you've ever been down, it's like an old wooden, and you're up really high, so it feels like you're in you know, let's say a proper ground, so to speak.
yeah.
Yeah.
Old
Is
wooden
it
grandstand, nice clubhouse.
so Tring Athletic is South Mid Prem? Isn't
Yeah,
there like Tring Corinthians in
yeah,
South Mid as well?
yeah. They're in the
Yeah,
bottom
they're
South
in
Mid.
Div 2, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Got
that's
ya.
who the
Okay, cool.
lad I played with Stutely last year. Apparently, has just signed for them. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I went quite a few games last season. One of them because Tyler was playing against them for Real Bedford, and then me and my son started going. And then when I got obviously binned off by Stutely, we went a few times. So it's and I really like it because there's a clubhouse right next to the pitch. The only thing is, there's not many people there. They don't get big crowds, and you'd think they would, but it's because you've got the rugby club, which is quite a big rugby club right next to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's more of a rugby town than football, but really
Well,
like
let's
it
be
there.
honest. Yeah.
Slopey pitch, played really good football. I watched them in the week, and they play really, really good football. And being a bit of a geek, it they they were basically like it felt like they were playing like a midfield six and no out and out striker. They were just rotating it around, and it was really interesting to watch. Like really interesting to watch. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go for Tring, and obviously the second team is because I love going there, and it's always a really good atmosphere, and they get a big crowd. Is Leighton, they'll average
Yeah.
about 400
Yeah.
foot between
Yeah.
500. So that'll be my second team.
But
This is
let's be honest, going to Leighton or Tring, it's do you want to be drinking £2 pints of Carlin, or do you want to be drinking £6 pints of Peretti somewhere else?
I'm drinking champagne in Tring.
That's what I mean. Uh, yeah, fair enough. Okay.
I'm bringing the champagne to Shanghai. Some people are saying that.
The
Yeah.
class.
No,
Class. Bit of an air.
Yeah,
I like the selection though. I like the selection, Mike. Tring, I've been there a few times watching, and I've been there once when I was at Crawley Green as a sort of coach for Crawley Green. It's a nice little ground, like you say, it's a nice little ground, sort of old style sort of ground, football ground, and
yeah,
like it's a nice clubhouse. It's really good, really really good.
yeah.
And obviously Leighton I can endorse as well because obviously that's my hometown at the minute. So I've been to Leighton Town loads of times,
Mm.
and it's a nice little ground there.
And thankfully, I'm no longer have to say that, because otherwise it'd have been county, Notts County. But thankfully, we're no longer non-league because that'd have been my club, wouldn't it,
Yeah.
to follow? But
Fair enough. So, Alan, who you got? Who you got?
So I've gone a little bit higher up than you guys. I've gone for a step two side. They've just been promoted from step three. It's Merthyr Town, a little old Welsh town, Merthyr Town. They've had in previous years. They've had a little bit of trouble, so they almost went out of business a few years ago. I think it was during COVID as well. Just the money, obviously, with football stopping and stuff like that. It was bad news for them. But they managed to pull through, and they got relegated a couple of years ago from Step Two, from the National League South down to the Southern Prem. They won that last season, but interestingly, they've been promoted, and they're now playing in the National League North, which surprised a lot of people because of where they are basically. So I'm gonna. It's interesting for me to follow them because I'm intrigued at how they're going to cope with it because of the travel.
yeah,
Because let's face facts, they're a part-time side, so everyone travels on their own. I don't think they have a coach or anything like that. They might do, I don't know. But it's going to be an interesting thing for them to all that travelling going up north.
I've got a couple
That's
of.
it.
Oh, sorry, a couple of stories
Go
about
on, Mike.
Merthyr. Couple of stories about Merthyr. When I was about 3, my dad used to go to watch Milton Keynes City at Manor Fields, previously Bletchley Town, and they were in the Southern League, which was then you had the what would be the conference.
The Vauxhall Conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then underneath that you just had the Prem. And so Milton
Yeah.
Keynes City sat in the one division below the Prem. So there was a Southern and Midland Southern League Prem, then straight into the conference. I was about 2, and he took me there because an absolute legend of the game, probably Wales, well, with Bale, probably Wales' greatest ever player, a bloke called John Charles. Juventus have got a statue of him outside their ground. So John Charles could play centre back or centre forward equally as well, a bit like Dan McLaren. And they
And they play in black and white as well, Mike.
yeah, playing black and white because of Notts County, as you know, the true story. You
Yeah,
know, it's a true story. Playing black and white
I
because
did
of Notts.
hear something like that. Yeah, yeah.
It's true. Yeah. Juventus used to play in pink, and then they lost their kit, so Notts County sent over a black and white kit. So that's why, and Notts County opened up Juve's new ground. They played. There's a big link, and
Yeah.
sometimes the county fans will
Sorry,
sing.
how's this about a Welsh side?
Oh,
How's
we're
this
coming back
got?
to it. We're coming back to it. We're coming back to it. Anyway, so John Charles was player manager. He'd been about 47, 48, was player manager of Merthyr. So Leeds legend, went from Leeds to Juve. There's a statue of him outside Juve's ground. They called him the Gentle Giant. And he's about 47 and he played centre half that night. And my dad used to go to me, he goes, the bloke did not move from the halfway line, and all he did was header everything that they could throw at him away. He said he was unbelievable. I also,
Is this how you've modelled your career off then?
yeah,
From that day, from 2 years old, that's
yeah,
me. That's what I'm going to be.
that's all I want to do. And then I also think because Merthyr crashed their coach at Ford Meadow in Buckingham, it missed the turning and ended up in that river. You know, the river which used to run past Ford Meadow. Apparently, so they used to get a team coach, but yeah, John Charles drove the team coach from Merthyr to Manor Fields in Bletchley because he was player manager. Drove it, and then my dad watched. But obviously, I can't remember. But my dad watched him play, and he just said, "Absolutely unbelievable."
Brilliant.
Merthyr legend because he's really deprived. You know, it's a really. Have you been, Alan, to Merthyr?
I
Merthyr
haven't. No, I haven't. No.
Ex
I want
mining,
to go.
South Wales mining. Really,
Yeah,
I hope they're not listening, but it's really rough. But
yeah.
they've been a very, very, very big. They played. Didn't they get to like the quarterfinals of the Cup Winners' Cup one year? European Cup Winners' Cup.
I'm like Dan. I haven't done a lot of research on them.
Oh well,
Oh,
showing you luck. Check them out. You check
yeah.
Merthyr's history.
But
They
yeah, I
played
think
loads in
yeah.
Europe because the Welsh teams used to qualify, didn't they, for Europe through the Welsh
Yeah.
Cup?
Well, yeah, they still do but they have to but they have to go through qualifying
Yeah.
like
So I think, yeah, they either played. I think they played someone like Atalanta or something at Merthyr. It'd be good to have a troll through. I'll shut up
I
now.
know. At the end of this season, after they got promoted, they were offered the chance by the Welsh League, the Welsh Premier, and offered £6 million or around that sort of fee to go and join the Welsh Premier League rather than go to the National League North or South or wherever they were going to go. But they turned that down in order to stay in the English pyramid. So I think that's that's quite a sort of a bold thing for them to do. To be fair,
But the travelling is probably better for them because the Welsh National League is very much North Wales, Mid Wales, North Wales, isn't it?
yeah.
And to drive up Wales, there's no motorway, so they're probably
Yeah.
quicker going into England anyway.
And you say that, like, once you were saying, Alan, why pick Northern? They've clearly, I can imagine, at that level, you've got a board of directors who are sat there trying to plan out the next. Clearly, for one, they obviously think the North is a more likely a division to progress in. And also, you just never know with sponsors and things like that. You could have someone who could have a hotel sponsor where predominantly the resources are up north. Do you imagine, like, at that level, you're going to have to stay over quite a bit normally. You see all these lads on TikTok post about it in a minute who play at that level. So you do wonder, like, if someone's come along and said to you, you ain't got to worry about your travel costs this year. I'm just presuming this, and all of a sudden you go, well, fucking hell, yeah, if we ain't got to worry about travel, actually, the Northern League's far better for us to go and play in that one. I don't know what teams are in it. But let's be honest, let's just say as Southerners, we're saying better teams down this way than rather up north. But interesting. It's a good pick, Alan.
Well, yeah. And also, we don't know where the border is, where the league set who goes in north and who goes in south. Do you know what I mean? Because I think last season or just a couple of seasons ago, Bishop Stortford were in the National League North, Brackley are in the National League North, Oxford City are in the National League North. So we don't know where the border is, how they decide who is north and who isn't.
It's also because there's a lot of teams based down in sort of the outer London area, which will compete in the southern section.
Mm.
But it's also been the downfall of some teams because like
It has,
Buckingham
yeah,
Town were in the Midland Division for a long time in the Southern League. Then they moved them to the Southern Division, and
yeah,
the travelling killed them. It's
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that was the
Well,
same with Bishop Stortford. That when their main issue was why they got relegated was because it's travel costs. So there were players that couldn't commit to doing all the travel, especially midweek games as well.
yeah.
It was definitely hard for them. So and that's why they struggled, and that's why they ended up getting Bishop Stortford and they're getting relegated themselves. That was a couple of years ago. So that's like I said, it'd be interesting to see how Merthyr cope with it. Dan might be right. They might have a load of sponsors that will cover those kind of costs to help them through it. So they might be okay. You never know. I mean, how do Oxford City do it? I mean, they've been in it for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Brackley have been in it for years now. Brackley got to the playoff final. Didn't they? They got to playoffs a couple of years ago. So
they're
yeah,
up now,
Yeah.
aren't they? They're in the conference now, aren't they?
Yeah.
yeah,
They're in the they
yeah,
got promoted last year.
yeah.
So
So they managed to cope. So it's doable. It's doable. It's how they managed to anyway. But yeah,
uh,
so that's my team for this season. I'm going to follow them. I'm going to try and follow them with some intensity. I'm probably not going to buy a shirt, Dan.
what I was going to say, Alan, is while we're on this episode, 'cause I've noticed something we spoke about, but we haven't actually announced yet, is our sponsored player.
Our
We never
sponsored player,
mentioned it.
yes. No, no,
Yeah.
no. We sort of it was a couple of episodes ago, and we sort of teased
Yeah.
everybody who it was going to be. We said it on the socials, but yeah. So it is Jake. What's his name?
I don't even know. So we are sponsoring Jake Watkinson
Watkinson. That's it.
At Newport. It was wonderful. He We sponsored him on the Thursday. On the Friday, he scored a hat trick against MK Dons 11 when they
Yeah.
played in pre-season. And Saturday morning, he was fixing my toilet. But I can't say I know him that well. He has said he'll come on. By the way, I've spoke
Oh,
to
brilliant.
AD who spoke to him. And he's like, yeah, definitely I'll come on. But yeah, I don't know a lot about him. If I'm honest, he played at Wembley twice. I went on a stag do for 4 days with him. Seems like a really nice lad, to be fair. So yeah, it was like we're going to sponsor a player. Why not sponsor him? He missed the penalty first game of the season though.
Did
You can see it on Newport's highlights. It's a bit of a howler.
he?
He tries to do
Well,
a
I suppose
Jorginho.
as we are sponsoring him, we should sort of do then the service of updating, do little updates
Oh,
for this
100%.
season as
Yeah,
well. So we'll talk
yeah.
about them as we go on. So as it stands, it's Tuesday. They've had a couple of games already, and they've lost both
Both.
games. I think one of them was an FA Cup game though, which was on
It was.
Saturday. Just
Yeah.
so it's
5-1.
not a great start for them. But we'll get
No.
Cam on at some point as well. One
Yeah.
of the managers, so we'll get him on as well at some point.
So
To
I
talk
think
about.
they've got Hinkley Town on Saturday. So,
Okay, right.
so yeah, but I don't even know who my team have got Saturday, but I'll find out and we'll let you know. But hey ho, up
First thing I'm doing is looking for the derby. Once the McLaren King
Romans.
derby.
That's it. The Romans up the Romans. That's AFC Welling. The Romans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fucking hell. I tell you what, I'm gonna look good in that pink shirt, mate. Wonderful.
Tringer known
I'm
as
up-
Tringer known as the Quaffers of Champagne. That's their nickname.
I think
will look
I
Prawn
think
Sandwich Brigade.
Merthyr are the Tudors. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
black and white. Another great
Black and white.
colour kit. Black and
Yeah.
white. That's what they put. I think they got quite because Merthyr were a league club. Do you know that?
I think they have been up there. Yeah.
If I was to reach into one of these books here behind me, which is about an eighth of my library, I will find a football league book which has every single league table published since 1888, and Merthyr were in it. I think they played in the third division south when it was regional. So I'll do a small lecture on it next week for you, Alan.
Fantastic. Anyway, I'll leave it to you to wrap up, Alan.
Yeah, we'll let you enjoy your holiday, Dan. Thanks for coming on, guys. Yeah, don't forget, everybody, like and subscribe to the video when we put this on. Today is Tuesday. As for reference, today's Tuesday. I will put them on holiday as a special thing. I will get it out tomorrow afternoon at some point. Yeah, so
Lovely.
Thanks everybody for listening. Dan, enjoy your holiday. Mike,
Will do,
cheers
sir.
for coming on.
Yeah,
Hopefully
pleasure.
next time we will have Stephen on because we haven't seen him for a while. But yeah,
Whatever.
thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we will be back in a couple of weeks.